and welcome to Art and Fashion. I'm Dominique, and this is my guest today, TJ Spurge. Hi, TJ.
Hi, Dominique. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about your artwork. You do a lot of, I don't even know if I should call it a painting. I'll let you talk about it.
Well, the medium I'm working in now mostly is I use a plastic laminate as my canvas. It's like a 16th inch or 32nd of an inch plastic laminate. Glossy white plastic laminate. It's pressed onto either usually MDF or half-inch plywood, and then I cut it. I work in a wood shop. We can get into that later if you want to talk about that. But I cut it, edge band it with black PVC, and then I have my own canvas sizes that I want to use. And I use ink. I've been experimenting with different inks, mostly Sharpie ink, but now I'm getting into other things. And I use acetone or lacquer thinner to thin it out, and I kind of use different techniques to move the ink around the canvas and just see what happens.
Do you use it directly out of the Sharpie, or do you break the Sharpie and let it all pour out and mix that with the acetone, or how does that process work?
Well, usually I take the Sharpie whole, I break it open, and there's like a tube inside with like a foam inside of that with the plastic around it, and I can take that and squeeze it either right onto the canvas, or sometimes I put the acetone or thinner on the canvas first. So different ways of using it. I try to experiment.
It sounds like you might have pretty intensely dyed hands for a couple of days there.
Yeah,
then.
I try to wear gloves, but I do end up with my fingertips being multicolored like rainbows. You know?
So now that's the medium. Now, what's the context of your artwork? What's the theme that you have going throughout the pieces?
Well, my content, I guess, is up to the interpreter, but I like to work in sort of undersea themes and under microscope themes, and I'm very interested in the natural world and outer space. So I do planets and things like that, and stars. So mostly when I work with the plastic laminate, I do those kind of things, like undersea creatures and under microscope creatures or outer space creatures. And I kind of like to think that like the creatures maybe live on the planets that I make, like they're exoplanets, like it's astrobiology. And I really love that, the natural world, and I try to bring that into my work.
Was that theme kind of brought forth at all with any of the properties that the medium has itself of the ink?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, I came up with a lot of the concepts for this new work based specifically on the way that the thinner interacts with the ink and the way it evaporates. And because the thinner evaporates quickly as opposed to doing watercolor, so I can see the work completed really quickly, and if I don't like it, then I can make changes, as opposed to having to wait longer if it were just water. And so the way the inks swirl around in the thinner, and the way you can see them like layering over each other sometimes, and the way it evaporates and making these different textures, it's really all in the natural process of the medium itself.
Okay, yeah, I noticed with a lot of your work that the medium did have like a certain kind of like drip or pour or like liquid property to it, that it seemed to have a lot of movement within it. So that's why I thought that that might have influenced a lot of the shapes and what you saw within the medium.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I like to keep it really organic and like let the medium do what it does on its own without me interacting with it too much. Try to keep my ego out of it a little more. And because that helps me kind of, work on my process and get my inner content out, as opposed to having a set idea of what I want to work towards. I can kind of let it pull me in, you know. So it's more interesting to work like that, I think.
Now, what is your background getting into creating art?
Well, I really started in high school just kind of doodling in notebooks and stuff like that. In Tim Needles' classes, I took film with Tim Needles, and he was a really big influence early on. And film was my first passion, really. And I was going to go to school for film, but I ended up going for fine art instead, and just kind of not really wanting to listen to my teachers, but like taking kernels of their ideas and always trying to do my own thing and do things that were different. And I just want to develop my own sort of, my own concepts and styles.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to LIU Southampton when it was open, back in 2002 to 2004.
Okay. Now, you said you worked in a wood shop. Has that influenced your work as well, or has it more given you the means to create the canvases that you like, or somewhere in between?
Somewhere in between. Mostly it's given me the chance to make the canvases myself, and so I can make different sizes and interact with different materials and come across different materials that I might not normally come across, like melamine. I started with melamine, but I found the glossy laminate was better to work on. So it just gives me access to being able to build things and use my mind in that kind of way too, and put things together, and that's all come together in my process because now I make my whole canvases, and I hang them, I do the hardware myself and everything, so I do everything from start to finish 100% on my own.
Okay, really nice. Now, where have you exhibited your pieces?
Let's see, Creators Bar in Mount Sinai. Upstate, I've exhibited, I'm doing a show tonight, actually I'm hanging a show tonight in Red Hook at Taste Buds Cafe on West Market Street in Red Hook. It's just across the river from Kingston, across the Hudson River, so if you want to check that out. And a couple other places in Red Hook, the Red Hook Community Arts Network, just places like that, smaller galleries. A lot of places, I try to like infiltrate into galleries where they normally wouldn't have my work, where it's a lot of just paintings of boats and landscapes kind of thing, and I try to get my weird stuff in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, and I've also exhibited at Paper Doll, which is a great show. I did that last year, sorry, this year, and that's pretty much it. Not too many places, but I'm starting to get out there more.
Do you have any upcoming areas or places you would like to exhibit or are looking towards exhibiting at?
I would really like to exhibit in New York City, if possible, but it seems like it's hard to get in there, but, and also the travel, because I live upstate now. But I want people to see my work, so I'm trying to get into these more coffee house shops and places, different places like your boutique, where people normally wouldn't go to see art, but if they see it there, they would like it because it interacts well with your medium too.
Now, speaking of mediums in the future, are you looking to expand and work in any other mediums besides the inks? Is there anything you want to experiment with and try to explore more?
Absolutely. Although I've been doing the inks for a while, like it kind of came from drawing. Like I used to draw with pen and ink a lot, and that kind of evolved into the Sharpies, and then Sharpies evolved into the paintings. And so now, like I've been dabbling with like acrylics and oils here and there, but I want to get into doing more sculpture now and music, I think, and doing like installations and live shows, and trying to incorporate music into paintings and just having a whole installation going on of like kind of having someone walk into my head, basically, you know. And so yeah, I mean, I dabbled a little bit with sculpture back in college, but I never got super into it because I went on a different path. But it's always something I wanted to go back to.
I forgot what I was going to ask. If somebody wanted to see your artwork, where could they view it? Is it available? Do you have a website, or do you have a Facebook address where they could see it all?
Yes, my website is tjspurge.com. It's www.tjspurge.com, and you can see most of my work there. Some of my early work, my pen and ink work, and most of my newer stuff, the newer ink paintings, all that stuff can be seen on my website, tjspurge.com. And I do have a Facebook. You can find me. I'm TJ Spurge on Facebook. I don't really use that too much for art, but just personal stuff. So if you want to find me on there, find me on Facebook. Also Instagram, I'm Destructosaurus Rex, and that's also the name of my band, which I hope to do more stuff with that in the future. So keep a lookout for that.
Okay, and is there a good email address to contact you at?
Yes, you can contact me at tjspurge@yahoo.com.
And have you ever done any like commission pieces specific for anybody who's like requested something?
No, I haven't done any specific commissions, but I wouldn't be averse to doing them in the future.
Okay, so you're open to doing something like that.
So if say maybe someone wanted a planet with their own, colors in it or something like that, I could do that.
Okay, very cool. All right, is there anything you would like to add? Any influences or any words for artists developing their own work?
Actually, on a sad note, one of my major influences, H.R. Giger, died recently, and he really got me into the darker side of artwork and the spilling out the psyche onto the canvas kind of thing. And between him and Alex Grey, I'm sure a lot of people know Alex Grey, he's been a huge influence on me since early on. And I feel like I don't want to look at too much work because I don't want to steal other people's ideas in a way. So I kind of stick to a few major artists that I've been influenced by, and I just kind of go off on my own tangent from there.
And any words of wisdom for future artists and developing artists?
I would say for anyone who wants to do art, if you want to go to school, don't take it too seriously, and always try to do your own thing. Like, take what your teachers say and listen to it, but always rebel against it and do your own thing. And develop your own mediums, your own styles, and that kind of thing.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for coming on the show, TJ.
Thanks for having me, Dominic. It's been a pleasure.
All right, any other facets of your work that you would like to talk about before we get going?
Not really. I think I covered most of it.
Yeah, we got Medium, we got your history and everything. So I look forward to seeing more of your work in the future and seeing the paths that you kind of evolved through. And I look forward to seeing your future shows. So thanks for that. And otherwise, this has been a great episode of Art and Fashion with Dominique. I hope you guys tune in next week. Thank you so much.